It is. Okay, you're going to hear the occasional car. Windows are down. It is not hot outside. It is actually quite nice. The nice cool breeze blowing. Yeah. And I got some great news for y'all. I'm going to let those notifications go out. And go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. And for those of you who are going to catch this on the replay, remember, we're in a season right now where you're going to catch me in between running errands and, well, moving in silence, and then also training like an athlete. Okay, getting this body back in shape, y'all. That's what it's all about. Taking better care of this temple for the Holy Spirit. Oh, yeah. And let me tell y'all something. When God restores, He means it. He means it. So every Sunday around 2 p.m. Eastern Time, God willing, we're going to be up here live. Whether I'm a talking head or faceless, I'm going to give y'all something to look at. But I see, and the occasional aircraft. Yep, you're going to see, you're going to hear the occasional aircraft, occasional car. You might even hear the occasional person walking by, whatever. It is a park. It's a public park. And so it is what it is. I'm going to leave the windows down. Like I said, it's only about my car temperature was telling me that it's only about 70 degrees out there. That's not hot. That's not hot. That's very close to spring-like weather. But very unusual here. And I do know, I believe it's spring break time at the time of this video. So let the notification go out. I'm going to go ahead and do our usual engineering check. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA Let's Just Chat show, streaming on the YouTube channel Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequencies for healthier living. Oh, I see y'all downloading that free PDF off the website. Yeah, all about the fundraiser. We're not kidding. There is a lot to unpack. I have more coming for you all about how the Matrix, oh my gosh. I'm just going to tell you, I don't know how they get away with it, but it was revealed to me because the more we detox, the more that I've been detoxing, the more I'm noticing how things get rigged up in the Matrix to, let's just say, zap you while you sleep. Yeah. Because remember, the devil don't want people to be healthy. He don't want you to detox. No. See, the Matrix want to try and tell y'all that. They sell you all this health messages and stuff like that. But I talk more about that on the Patreon channel. But I want to tell y'all, yes, hello. Come on, everybody, come on. Let's chat about this, because it's something that I'm noticing even more. How the devil's stuck on repeat. You know, we talk about how the narcissists are stuck on repeat, how the Matrix is stuck on repeat. All you gotta do is look at the calendar, and it's like it's the same thing every single year. You know, Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. I'm gonna pull that up, and we're gonna talk about it, because yeah, I know we got some peach fuzz going on, but like I said, y'all gonna catch. We're in between working out and finalizing the practice run. Okay, so hang tight. Listen, it's exciting. It's exciting. But what God revealed to me, because I actually can sense as soon as I walk into a room, and if it's rigged, if the radio frequency is rigged, remember, it's not just these things right here that can pick it up. My ANS can pick it up, because I'm now aware of how the autonomic nervous system can pick it up. I did not know there for a while. I kept thinking to myself, why? I said, I know my body. And I said, because listen, before the physical assault and things started to go a little weird in my body, the water, yeah, all of that. Okay, so before all of that, I mean, I've been walking and working out for many years. And I pay attention. I know my body. Chosen one, that's how we are. We know our bodies. And it's not a pride thing. It's just a matter of, hey, we want to take the best care of this temple for the Holy Spirit. It ain't about how we look. It's about how we feel physically, because we know that we're put on this planet. God put us here for a reason. He didn't just put us here and go, bleep. No. God put us here for a purpose. And so we got to walk in our purpose. In order to walk in our purpose, we got to be the healthiest we can possibly be. And I will tell y'all, when I walk into a certain room, and if it's rigged, if it is rigged, that's the key word here. It has to be rigged. Because radio frequency by itself, I'm going to tell y'all, radio frequency by itself cannot do near the amount of mind numbing or body numbing that the devil wants it to do. There has to be other things at play. It had to be set up like an electrocution station. When you research the law of reflection, physics 101, there are sine waves, there are gigahertz, there are megahertz, there are kilohertz, okay? There are specific frequency ranges where the regulating agencies out here consider it to be a normal range. Okay, your body can adapt. What happens is when it's outside of a range and your body's unable to adapt, that's when it becomes an issue. And the only way that's going to become an issue, like I tell y'all a lot, the inside of your body has to meet certain criteria. You have to have, you got to have excessive salt, even sugars, and then potentially other toxins as well inside your body to raise your body's temperature. You got to have air pockets. Oh yeah, you got to have air pockets. You've got to have excess mucus. You've got to have all of those conditions inside the body in order for the radio frequency, because the salt acts as a magnet. So in order for radio frequency to have a major negative impact, the internal environment has to meet those criteria. You have to have the excess salt. You have to have even some bruising. And that's my issue here, is we've got some bruises that are healing. And they're taking a little bit longer than they should. That's what caught my attention. I said, hold on a second, because the more I detox, the more I notice. That's the other reason why the devil don't want y'all to detox, because the more you detox, the more you notice about this radio frequency and how this matrix has rigged it up to poison everybody. Not just with that, but with chemicals. Chemicals in our water, chemicals in the air. I mean, it goes on. I talk more about that on the Patreon channel for a reason. But I want y'all to understand that it is stuck on repeat. It's the same old, nothing new under the sun. Let me pull that up for y'all. In Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. And it becomes more evident every single day that we observe more and speak less. And we're like, wow, this is what God's talking about. Oh, that's what God's talking about there. And, listen, you know how I talk about the mind-blowing moments in the spiritual awakening? Oh, yeah. All the time. And I got your comment over there, fellow warrior. I'm going to get to you. Here in just a moment, because that's a good point, and we're going to talk about it, because it's just like the evildoers, and they're stuck on repeat. It's like they got nothing new. This is why I tell y'all, when you say, when God says no weapon formed against thee shall prosper, you'll understand better, because all the devil has, remember I teach y'all this all the time, all the devil has is things that used to work in the past, Once you overcome them trauma triggers, and you go, oh, that again, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. He's going to try it, because that's all he knows. Just like these narcissists, that's all they know. They say, oh, they don't want to learn anything new. That's fine. We leave them there. Leave them where they at. Matthew 8:22, Jesus says, let the dead bury their dead, right? Okay, well, that's what he means. But Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9, y'all, right here, it really is something. Nothing new under the sun, okay? Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. I'm going to tell y'all, because no matter where we go, chosen ones, you're going to start to notice it. And see what the devil's trying to do. He's trying to get you to step out of character. He wants to get under your skin, because it used to work in the past doing that. So here recently, as we make this practice run, the devil's trying stuff that happened. Right? It's like I can see the repeat. It's like, dude, it's like I'm binge watching a rerun of something. because I said to myself, hold up a second, okay, in the hotel room, and I said, all right, that noise and pestilence, okay, we get that part, okay, all right, I understand where that's coming from, spiritual attack. But then it reminds me of the first room, when I landed in this city, after I got away from the Jezebel case study, closed that after I got away from her, and we landed in this city, and I was able to stop bouncing back and forth between hotel rooms and finally got someplace stable. The first room I was in, boy, it was noisy. Y'all gonna hear it. Now listen, when you catch some of the lives we did there and some of the videos that I've done there on replay, when you catch some of those from that room and you hear noise in the background, it was pretty noisy. I mean, helicopters, everything. I mean, there's a lot of noise out there, but I know what the devil was trying to do. It's trying to stress out my vagus nerve. Because the vagus nerve is in between the auditory, right? Okay, so, right, because you couldn't re-traumatize me, which means you could not re-enlarge my amygdala. Let me let y'all in on this secret here. Once you overcome trauma triggers and you are reconnected in mind, body, and spirit, meaning spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, okay? Remember, y'all, it's not a physical battle. That's why the Jezebel case study launched a physical assault on me. That's all they had left. That's all the devil had left to try. Here we are, still going. See, the devil thought he had me in. The devil thought that because they found a way to put me in a place, okay? God protects us, but he found a way to let me get into a place, that was rigged to electrocute people while they sleep. And I said to myself, well, no wonder these bruises are taking so long to heal. All right, anyway, so I got more about that coming later. But and I know exactly how it's done, too. See, that's what God had to reveal to me. And so each time I make a practice run, I can sense it. And I walk in and I can immediately sense it. And I said, oh, this feels so familiar. Because the devil's stuck on repeat. Remember the ex-psycho roommate, how he was rigging up electrocution stations inside that house, and I caught on to it? I remember that sensation. It's like my ANS said, hey, mama, remember this? And I went, oh, my gee, I do. That's the Holy Spirit talking right there, bringing it to my remembrance, because I was like, I kid you not. I said, how come I didn't notice that before? And God told me, he said, because you've detoxed more sin. He said, because the more you detox, okay, the more of that excess stuff that we get out, the more our water gets rebalanced, right? Okay, the more we heal. I said to myself, okay, that makes sense. He said, we didn't notice it at the time for a little while. It's like our body was getting back in shape, and then it just kind of like went stagnant there for a moment. I said, what just happened? I said, what just happened? And so that's why I said the devil's stuck on repeat. Because what the ex-psycho did, right, it almost worked. See, that's the thing. It didn't work in the past, but it looked as though it did. You got to remember that. See, the Jezebel case study at the same time, right, all about appearances, outward appearances. So when the Jezebels peek in, or the monitoring spirits peek in on the live, first of all, they're checking to see where we at. They're checking to see. And they're also checking for this. They're checking for any bruises. They want to see if the zapping me while I sleep was working. Well, see, that's the thing, because the ex-psycho did it. I don't know if y'all know this, but I shared where I got up to use the restroom one evening, and he didn't know I was in the bathroom because I didn't turn the light on. I saw him come out of his bedroom with one of them old-timey cameras with the big flash, and when he set that thing off, I heard the well, that's like an LED light. What he was doing was he was trying to electrocute me while I was sleeping. So that's what the devil does in the Matrix to people in certain places. So watch out for that. If you are on a journey of working out and healing and you see results, but then it goes stagnant, you got to check the radio frequency levels. Your body will tell you the more you detox, you will notice. Absolutely. So it's a big reason why. But the devil has no new tricks, nothing new. And the reason they do that in the Matrix to everybody is because it keeps them buying on impulse. It keeps them feeling unwell. And it keeps them very unhappy. Because when people feel unwell, naturally, you're not going to be very happy, are you? Exactly. You're not going to have a whole lot of energy. I got to tell y'all something. Because let's see, I've got, by the way, in the academy, I highly encourage y'all to check it out. Check it out. I got more fun fact. I got Bible studies coming. Listen, every week, okay? Every week. Okay, we got new stuff coming up in the community forum. If you do not want to enroll in one of the courses yet, and you want to test drive it, there's a membership at the academy. And when you sign up for the annual membership at CHA Academy, btbw.com, click on all courses, the membership comes up. Yes, when you register for the annual, you save 25%. You have a choice, monthly or annual. I highly encourage y'all to check it out so that you can test run. There's information from all the different courses in there. And when you're in the community forum, you actually get to click on one of the courses and you can get a sneak preview of it. How about that? But you got to go to the course space. So on the left-hand side, I have the courses lined up, each space. So for example, I have the trauma bond course. You click on it and it's going to have the fun facts associated with that. And then on the right hand side, it has the course link to it. And so what you can do is it'll have a little link that says preview the course, and you click on that and it'll take you in and show you a few things. Because once you know how that trauma bond is formed, that's right, I tell y'all that a lot for a reason. All right, so I highly encourage y'all to check those courses out. The value, and we have more courses coming. Yeah. Hang tight. All right. Thank you for your patience, but we had to do the practice run so we can get back to business as usual. Okay. So, being stuck on repeat, it's stuck on repeat because, it does. Being stuck in repeat contributes to the demon of depression. Absolutely. Because it's a seasonal repeat every single year. Right. And so boring and stale as the years roll on. Absolutely. This is why Jesus says to put away childish things. 1 Corinthians 13:11. Got to put away them childish things. Okay. The laundry trolley that was passing by. Okay, I didn't even catch it. I was talking. So, but yeah, y'all are going to hear the occasional car. You're going to hear the occasional aircraft. You're going to hear the occasional thing, but I want to get on here and remind y'all it's stuck on repeat. So part of healing from the trauma is to remember that there is nothing new under the sun. The devil ain't got nothing new. The devil has nothing new to try on you. No, because you overcome all that used to trigger you. You overcome all that used to get under your skin. You overcome all. Remember, Jesus says, he who overcomes all. We're going to get to see this. That's part of God's promises. Okay, that we get to see. Oh, you're talking about the laundry trolley. On Patreon at the hotel. Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. And that's why I tell y'all up front that you might hear some occasional... Well, it's the cleaning cart is what that was. Same thing. So you're going to hear that from time to time. But you got to also, right, not where I'm at now, but on Patreon. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. I am currently paying attention each day as to what time. So see, that's the thing. That's why when I do a podcast, I can hit the pause button. I try to do those as early as possible in the morning before those cleaning people, because usually it starts up around 9 a.m. Usually, what I'm noticing so far, because checkout is 11, but it is a hotel, so it has extended stay packages, but it operates as a regular hotel, so people can stay there for just a couple of nights and be checking out. And it is spring break. At the time of this recording, it's spring break. So it's going to be a little, it's seasonal, you know, and the weather is starting to warm up again, and that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm saying, is that you can predict almost what's coming next, again, by looking at the calendar. But when the devil tried, you know, whenever you are in a new environment, when God delivers you and you're in a new environment, but you start to recognize, hold on a second, this feels familiar. Noise and pestilence outside. And I'm like, hold up a minute. Yeah, hold up. And then some other things. Okay, like, for example, last night, it sounded as though people were dropping things on the floor next door or upstairs or what have you, but it's trying to make it, well, see, it's the devil repeating things that he thinks would induce fear or would have me all jumpy about. It don't bother me, because my ANS knows to expect the unexpected, especially in a hotel room. I mean, you just never know, right? And also how sound travels. So whenever somebody drops something outside or knocks on one of the neighboring doors, it can sound like they're knocking on mine, but they're not. That's how the sound travels. And so I'm aware of that. And so I was like, well, yeah, no. I mean, I was like, no, it's not scaring me at all. And it's definitely not distracting me, because we're getting stuff done regardless, like we're supposed to be doing. And that includes my dissertation, yes. Finally getting back to it. So, because that radio frequency over time, it's going to drain you of your energy. So if you don't know where it's coming from and you don't know what's causing this or that, it's going to take over your psyche. So be mindful of that. The devil knows this. He knows if you're not feeling 100% or if you're not feeling well, then that's going to play on your psyche, and it does. Tried and true. Believe me, I know. But anyhow, that being said, we are working on it. And, you know, God, listen, y'all, God got this. And I have to tell you that it's not a coincidence. You're going to learn more about all of this. You're going to learn more about this particular, let's just say, circumstance in this season for us and for the ministry. And, you know, launching our fundraiser and things like that. We are working on some other things with that as well. So I want y'all to stay tuned. Okay, stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Seriously. You will not be sorry. Because we're bringing you all kinds of value, all kinds of God's revelation, God's spiritual truths, and the things that we're noticing out here, and how the devil operates with nothing new under the sun. And so it's like, oh, that again. All right, and that's the other reason why the devil doesn't want people getting heightened awareness, because he knows that once you become aware of these things, you know how to self-care, you know what to do. Exactly. That feeling of being unwell drags on. Exactly. Playing on your psyche. Knowing that you should have been feeling better by now. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, well, and that's the other thing too, because when we know our body, that's where I said, hold on a minute. I'm going to start questioning this, because I said to myself, okay, I've been a weightlifter on and off for years before the physical assault. And then now after we get back to it, and I said, okay, God got me back on my 10 pounders. And I said, okay, we're good there. And so I said, all right, and things like that. So just a little at a time, Oh, I got more coming for y'all on Patreon too, okay? I got a couple more clips. All right? Yes, we got that coming for y'all. Because it's all part of combating radio frequency for healthier living. We got to stay active, right? And so I'm like looking at this and I'm like, okay, I see what we got going on here, right? We're taking shape. I said, but this right here, I said, for the time that I am, right, I said, for some reason, I said, okay, we got the shape coming here. And I said, but I know that, you know, endurance, toning, and shaping. And I said, okay, so I know how long we've been doing this for now. And I remember last time when I started to develop the shape. And I said, okay, this is taking a bit longer than it should. What's up with that? And that's when God revealed to me, he was like, okay, he said, practice run. And the more I get in nature, and the more I am in the in the other hotel room, the more we detox. When I go back for another practice run, I pick up on it. And I sure did. I felt as soon as I entered, and I was like, there's no reason for me to be feeling nervous, but that's my ANS talking. I felt my heart rate go up. Because, see, that's one of the radio frequency symptoms, y'all. Okay, when your body enters an environment that is operating with higher radio frequency than what the body can adapt to, that's the first thing that's going to start happening. That heart rate goes up. Yep, the heart rate speeds up. And I noticed it. I went, hold up a minute. And that's when my ANF said, Mama, recognize this? I said, yes, the ex-psycho roommate. And I did. I felt the jolt all the way down to my toes. I said, hold on a second. And so that's when God revealed something to me. Okay? And it starts with the Wi-Fi. Now, I will tell y'all this, that you've got appliances in an environment. So there's one that's operating, what it says on the sticker, it says that it's operating with 60 gigahertz. Okay? Well, when you think about 5G, what that stands for is 5 gigahertz. Well, 5G, for the Wi-Fi, 5 gigahertz is a lot smaller than 60 gigahertz, don't you think? Exactly. So when you pay attention to the amount of frequencies that these appliances, now that's considered by the regulatory agency, that's considered within a normal range. But that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Radio frequency by itself, coming from something operating at 60 gigahertz by itself, isn't going to do nada. But when it is used and rigged to pair up with some other thing that can, that can help it increase the radio frequency, okay, and you'll feel a stuffiness in the atmosphere. A lot, because radio frequency in excess will cause an environment to become very, very stuffy. And it will suck the oxygen right out of the environment. And that will deprive your body of the oxygen it needs while sleeping or anything you're doing in that environment. It will prevent your body from getting adequate oxygen to heal, adequate oxygen for just mere survival. And so when that happens, things that should be like, you should have overcome this already, or your body working out, like, where's the shape? Well, what's happened is because depriving the body of adequate oxygen wasn't getting to the muscles. So while we in the practice run, God told me, he said, get them weights and take them to the other hotel room. He said, don't do no more lifting in that one. I said, okay. I'm going to tell you, a huge difference. Right away. As soon as I'm going to tell you, I did an introduction. I introduced my body. 10 pound in one hand, 10 pounder in the other. I got 20 pounds total. And I could, huge difference. I could tell. So that basically means that the radio frequency in the other environment was too high. And so it was preventing my muscles. Right, so what was going to end up happening at that point was that instead of building the muscle, I would have started burning it, which is what the devil would want. Because you burn muscle, you lose it. And I'm like, nah, I'm taking this creatine, this protein powder. It's like, we ain't about to do that. We ain't going to let the devil, no. So I wanted to give y'all that, because when God revealed these things about the radio frequency poisoning that's happening, not just on an individual level, but on a societal level too. And I said to myself, there must be different regulatory rules for certain places. I don't know. But I can tell you now that over time, what radio frequency poisoning does, it will drain you of your energy, and then eventually it will drain you of everything. It will drain you, right? It will slow you down because it slows down the healing process. So it will slow you down. It will slow down everything. It will prevent you from being able to think for yourself. It will prevent you from being able to seek ye first the kingdom of God and stay productive. Because that's what radio frequency poisoning does. Is it drains you of all energy and anything that you need to walk in your purpose, to do what God has called you to do. So, right, it's not the nervous system of the skin, right, the skin not breathing properly. So, well, yeah, my ANF catching on to it. My ANF catching on to the fact that environment has a lot more frequency than it should have in there for health, for optimal health. So, well, yeah, I mean, like when you know your body and you know that you should have been feeling better at a certain point, you know your body, but the environment, and you're like, okay, so that's what y'all got to do. This is part of combating that radio frequency for healthier living. So if you find yourself in an environment and you're not feeling 100% up to par, you need to think about that. How long were you in that environment? How long were you exposed to the excessive frequencies? And I will go ahead and share with you all something else that I talk about more on the Patreon channel too. You've got there's a 9-minute cycle, okay? There's a 9-minute cycle to this radio frequency. So like every 9 minutes, another zap is going out in certain environment. It takes, if you are exposed on average, it takes about 3 hours. If you are exposed to excessive radio frequencies for 1 hour straight, and then you get out of that environment, it can take about 3 hours for your body to get back to its normal operation. How do I know that? I'm your guinea pig. I am your guinea pig because I can tell when I'm being zapped. I know exactly. When I walk into the environment, I know exactly. Because I can feel, because of the bruises, where they're located. And then my body's abnormal heat in certain places. Yeah, that shouldn't be that hot. So I'm paying attention when I'm in Walmart, when I'm out to eat. I pay attention. And so I can bring you all this. And so I time it. That's what I've been doing. Also, as part of the research. Remember, on that flyer for our fundraiser for this movement, okay, that y'all are helping to fund the ongoing research. I am your guinea pig. And that being said, that's what I got. On average, if you're exposed to radio frequencies outside the normal range for 1 hour straight, it's going to take your biological body up to 3 hours to detox from that. Provided that you're not in another environment where radio frequency is higher than it should be. Exactly. So this helps us understand better how the devil is stuck on repeat. Because that right there, it's the same pattern. It's the same cycle over and over again. That's how radio frequency is used to manipulate our biological body. Okay, its functions. The autonomic nervous system. Radio frequency is used to manipulate it. And it's on repeat, okay? It's a cycle. So every time you're exposed to excessive radio frequency for 1 hour, you get out, let's say you go to the park. And I guarantee you sit or walk it off. Do whatever you got to do to get as much oxygen as you can, natural oxygen, in nature. Stay there for about 3 hours. You'll notice you're going to feel a lot better. This is what a lot of people don't realize. How is it that you can be feeling fine, you leave the house, you feeling fine, you good, but then you go into a store or a restaurant? Ooh, this is a good one. Because I can remember many times this happening, and I got tricked into thinking it was the food that I ate. No, it was the excessive salt and the high radio frequencies that I was being exposed to while eating that caused that discomfort. Now I know this. Now y'all know this. So let's say, you're feeling fine. And so you go to a restaurant and you sit down, you're feeling fine. You order your drink, you order your food comes. You start to eat. Everything's going fine because there's something called a delayed effect also. That's right. See, this is part of the research. I'm going to bring y'all more about all of this. See, it's the delayed effect. So you're fine. You pay for your meal. You get in the car. Let's say you got your leftover container. And within about 20 to 40 minutes, because sometimes it can take about 40 minutes. It depends. That's been the average. Anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes for you to start feeling radio frequency symptoms, like a little tummy upset. And if you didn't know what it was, you would get tricked into thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that again. And so what you gonna do? You gonna throw that food away because you're gonna be like, I ain't gonna touch that. And you'll never eat at that restaurant again because you're gonna think that restaurant poisoned their food or something. You're gonna think. You're not gonna realize that it's the salt and the radio frequency combination that you were taking in and that you were being electrocuted while you were eating. Ever so slightly. That's what causes it. So you're like, oh, okay. Now that we know that, we don't let the devil trick us into thinking things anymore that we know aren't true. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, all right, as part of it. But the devil does that over and over again because the devil has no new trick. The devil just keeps on doing the same stuff over and over again. It's the cycle just repeats. Because, see, think about it. If your body is constantly undergoing the physical ailments, right? The physical discomforts, right? Constantly. Eventually, your physical body is going to give up and give in. And that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to run to every little doctor over here. He wants you to become a hypochondriac. That's what he wants you to do. Yeah, the devil wants you to become a hypochondriac. He don't want you to trust God. I'm going to tell you right now, chosen one, this is what we do. We trust God. And we always go to God first when we're experiencing something. We're like, hold on a second. Let me check in here. How much frequency was I exposed to? How much salt did I consume? So, as we do this, and we continue going on and on with it, it gets a lot easier to see the pattern, to see the repeat. And it's the same old, because he ain't got nothing new. Now, you have to think about this, though. Why would he need anything new? Right, because the radio frequency poisoning and the cycles of traumatization continue to work on the narcissist and others who are crept in unawares. And then those fellow chosen ones like ourselves that we didn't know at one time either. Now that we know, okay, hold up a second. So, I have no idea. But I will tell you that now we understand radio frequency poisoning is a real thing and it is being used for mind control. Remember that, first and foremost, mind control. And then also to try and cook you from the inside out. Because if you lose your muscles, you lose your physical strength. Now you got to go inside the matrix. Now you got to become dependent on man instead of being dependent on God. And it's the same old, over and over again with the devil and the narcissist. They've got nothing new. It is a repeat. They are stuck on repeat. That's why I told y'all a while back, that time loop. See, once you understand that the devil is, and when God gave the devil the boot out of heaven, that was the time loop. Put him in the time loop, like time out, right? Put him in the time loop. So he just stays on repeat. Same old, over and over again. Because it continues to work on the sleepers. It continues to work on those who have no idea that they're being poisoned by radio frequencies and chemicals, things like that. A lot of people still don't know. See, those of us who went down the rabbit hole, oh yeah. Remember, for those of you who haven't gone down the rabbit hole, if you do, you're not meant to stay there. God's going to get you out of that. So, well, yeah, it can. Radio frequency can be affecting the nerves of the skin, and the skin not being able to breathe properly. Exactly. It does. And it's similar to getting goosebumps. That's what it's, that sensation. It's similar to getting goosebumps. Yep, absolutely. 100%. It is. And then also pricklies. With your circulation returning, and not to forget that when your circulation is getting interrupted, those pricklies is the same. So it can be tricky being able to tell which is my circulation returning, or is it being interrupted. So it can be tricky to tell the difference because the sensations are very much the same. So you have to keep that in mind too. Yep, ice water. Ice water got to keep the inside of that body as cool as possible. Especially when we're out here. It may not be hot outside, but the sun's out. And I know that my body still has some abnormal heat coming from it because of the exposure to radio frequency. But at the same time, because my body is retaining, I guess if you want to call it that, but the water imbalance. However, that's getting better. All right, that's getting a lot better. The further along we get, because we become more aware of it, and we're paying closer attention. So, but yeah, I can see where you got that from. That it does. It sounds. It can feel like that. That it's affecting the nerves of the skin. Well, you got to think about your autonomic nervous system. It runs through your muscles and your skin. I mean, it's all connected. So whenever you're feeling a soreness somewhere, then yeah. So here's a tip I have for y'all. If you feel an area of your body, let's say for example, you're the outside of your thigh, right? If it feels clammy and cool, that means it's really hot inside. That means that your nerves in that area, exactly, that they're not awake fully. They're a little numbed. Because you shouldn't be clammy and cold like that. So that lets you know that on the inside, on the flip side, what you're feeling on the outside is trying to trick you into thinking that you're all good. The reality is no, and I'm tried and true. I had to learn this about myself too. I was like, why does that area feel cool and clammy there? It's not normal. And so I start massaging it. Wake up those nerves. Oh, okay. Now you can feel a little bit of the sort of, and that cool and clammy feeling eventually goes away as you gently massage. Don't do no deep tissue, but gently massage that area and you wake the nerves back up. Then you can tell, oh, that area is warmer than you thought. So there's for somebody right there. If you have an area of your body and you touch it and it feels cool and clammy and it shouldn't, massage, little massage. Don't put no heating pad on that, because what that means is that underneath that cool and clammy feeling, underneath that, it got numb because of radio frequency poisoning. That's what numbed it. Exactly. That hot salt water that's on the inside. Hot salt water. Let that sink in. It is hot salt water that's acting as a magnet for radio frequency. So it's going to go there. And that's what causes it to go to sleep. That's causing those nerves in that area of the body to go to sleep. to go numb so that you can't feel the muscle soreness. Because if you can't feel the muscle soreness, you are more likely to burn muscle instead of fat. That's what the devil wants you to do. Because he don't want you building muscle. He don't want you. Come on, chosen one. Wake up. Wakey, wakey. Because we live in a matrix that wants to try and tell you that it wants to play hero for your health. It don't want you to figure it out. It don't want you to know that God has the answers for you. It don't want you to know that. So I had to get on here and give y'all this message to remember that once you understand how the devil's stuck in a time loop, you'll start to pick up on these things. Where he's trying the same old that used to work in the past, and even with some things that almost worked because of the appearance. You see, for example, the Jezebel case study. Okay, the reason he's doing this repeat with trying to stress out my vagus nerve once again is because that first room that I ended up in, okay, when I landed in the city, the first room I was in, all that noise outside, that's what it was designed to do. Not only with the frequencies to activate the animated salt molecule, but to try and stress out my vagus nerve. And so the way that I was walking and doing and running on my adrenaline just a little bit, I had to discover that later on though. But with all of that, my physical body was giving off the appearance that I was re-traumatized when I was not. My ANS was, but not me. And so that's the other thing. That's why I tell y'all, when the Jezebel check in, or monitoring spirits check in when we go live, they're looking for the appearance of muscle tension. Because if they can see any muscle tension, then it gives them the illusion that we're traumatized when we're not. Oh, what the devil's trying to do, it ain't working. But right, because they're looking for anything that is out of balance. They're looking for bruises. They're looking for whether my circulation improving. They're looking for those things, but they're not really looking for the improvement. They're looking, what they see is the appearance of something that was once before. Ecclesiastes 1:9, right? What once was. And so that's all the physical assault could do with me, is give off the appearance of what used to be before I got on the blood type diet and started working out. Because it's external, the outward appearance. Because I'm here to tell y'all, on the inside, the devil can't see nothing that's going on the inside of this body. But I could feel it. I know what's going on because I know God's on the job. For example, I know when I went to grab a quick lunch, and I've learned to get my feet elevated. And I felt major cooling off in the calves. But the devil don't see that. Okay? I could feel it cooling off, meaning it's healing. So, the devil don't see that though. All he sees is the appearance of what once was. So that's why I can tell y'all what's going on. I can tell y'all that bruise is healing. I can tell y'all all that because the devil can hear it, but he ain't listening. Like Jezebel, they gon' even when all of this is fully healed, the appearance of all of it still being there is all the Jezebels are gonna see. Oh, their human host is going to see the improvement, but their demon spirits aren't going to let them accept it. That's why I tell y'all, remember, the narcissists, they only see the old version of us, chosen one. They don't want to see the new and improved version. They don't want to see it. Because seeing the new and improved version of us reminds them of what they'll never be. That's right. It reminds them of what they will never be. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. If y'all got other questions or what have you, don't hesitate to reach out. The email is in the description below. And And, you know, thank y'all for sharing some stuff on TikTok and Instagram and things like that. So just stay tuned. Got more to, oh, we got a lot more coming for y'all. A lot more. And so I'm going to leave it there. But once you understand the time loop that the devil is stuck in, like the narcissist, stuck on repeat, once you understand that, it makes things a lot easier each time the devil tries something that used to work in the past. Like, oh, okay, whatever. That's not going to work anymore. You know what I'm saying? So keep on keeping on. Don't get discouraged. Don't let the devil distract you. Keep on going. Keep going forward. Because, well, God is a forward-moving God. I know y'all going to drop that in the comments, even on the replay. Okay, so there you go. And, yeah. You know how the devil operates. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. That's not me. That's the car over there. That's right. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Until next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen. That was totally ridiculous, wasn't it?